Alright, lesson learned. Don't sniff flowers before leaving the house, because I just realized that I had pollen, both yellow and this orangish pollen, all over my face, and I was already gone. Anyway, I figured it out. Don't sniff flowers before you leave the house, because then you might have pollen on your face. We were at the thrift store today. As many may know, I live a very minimalist lifestyle, but my house is really teetering on that minimalist and bare, empty look. I think there's a fine line between the two of living minimalist and living with like nothing. So I have a few places in my home that need something. I did take pictures on my phone, so I know exactly what these places look like. I'm not trying to remember them all. So we're going to go in the thrift store today and see if we can find anything to fill up these places. It seems like everybody's getting ready for the long weekend here, and so there wasn't a lot of people at the thrift store this day. There was a lot of employees, but not a lot of customers. I'm sorry, a lot of volunteers. This thrift store runs solely off of volunteers. It is a church-based thrift store, and they do take their profits, and supposedly they help out in different countries and all. I don't know how accurate that is. I've never looked it up to make sure that they actually do, but that's what their signs say. So not a lot of people in the way, and I tried to stay clear of all the volunteers that were putting things out and moving things around. First thing I was definitely looking for was a basket. I wanted a certain basket for a certain area in my house. Could not find one that would fit there. They had plenty of them, and they were all that name brand, but yeah, I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, and they do have some on eBay. This thrift store sells on eBay. I'm not about the eBay life though, so I don't bother with eBay. I just look at what they have actually on the ground. But yeah, and some of the basket liners were sold separate than the baskets. They had all different shapes and sizes. I was kind of curious what this shape and size was for. I thought that that was interesting, how it's like lower in the front, higher in the back. And some of them came with their basket liners, some of them didn't. It looks like this must have been somebody's whole collection right here. It is more of a Christmassy one because there was 3 different sizes and every single one looked like it was taken care of really well. That's something I don't really have to worry about too much with this thrift store, is that they don't really put junk out on the floor. You're not going to really find something broken. Maybe one thing here or there. I think I found 2 things out of everything I looked at today that was definitely broken. But normally they don't do that. I'm surprised that they even put those 2 things out. And they might have been broken after they put them out on the floor. But they don't just sell anything here. And because they do have an eBay page that they sell off of, you're not going to really find any hidden big ticket items here. They look at every single thing before they put it out on this floor. They check prices of every single thing before it goes out on this floor. So I mean, we'd have a lot of resellers that come here anyway, but you're probably not going to find any real hidden gems that are worth big bucks on the floor. Though you still will get tons of resellers in here. A lot of them. I thought that wind chime was cute, but I don't want something that was in memory of somebody else's cat or even person. There's a lot of memorabilia stuff in here. So I pass on things that was meant for somebody else who is no longer here. It just feels odd to buy something like that. This I thought was cool. At first I thought it was like a town, just like wooden town pieces. And then I realized it was town pieces from around me. Somebody must have cut these out, made them personalized, because that's all places that are around me. I thought that was neat. I'm not huge into the towns around me to collect these pieces, but somebody definitely was. And it looks like they put a lot of work into that. I always find it interesting to look around and see like other people's collections that they obviously have passed on altogether. It's cool to see what other people collected. So what I did was I got a shopping cart, and anything that I liked, I put into the shopping cart. Then at the end, I went through everything that was in my shopping cart and I picked out the pieces that I know I would definitely use, so that I was not just buying random things that I didn't know where they would go. This was one of the things I put in my shopping cart, then I put back. I hope it finds a good home. It's from the brand House of Lloyd, and I do collect those pieces from there. Normally they are Christmas. And so I really did want to take this home, but I didn't know where I'd put it, so I did end up putting it back, and I hope that it does find a good home. This reminds me of a recipe holder. Have you seen the recipe holders from back in the day? You'd put like little index cards in there. I think that's what that was. And then just a few other things. You will also see a little bit here or there. Sometimes when I go, it's more than others. A lot of religious things. I guess because this is a religious-based thrift store, it partners with a church. They get a lot of donations from members. And so you will see a lot of religious stuff here. This looked cool. I don't think it was made to look vintage. I think it just is vintage. I did pass on it because it felt like at any minute that wood was going to crack and that was going to be the end of it. Love to see that they have these here. I'm always looking for these for Christmas and all, to have them in my window. Here goes some of their eBay baskets. Yeah, so I passed on the eBay stuff. I thought these were cute. They kind of remind me of like angel candle holders. They look like they need some work unless you like the look of them. And then these, I totally wanted them. Totally thought about it. They had two of them. I love candlestick holders. I think they are beautiful. I passed on them. And these I also had a hard time passing on. I don't know where I think I would ever put things like that, but they are really nice. Here goes even a blue one. There was only one of them, but that was pretty. Plenty of wax warmers. Winnie the Pooh and roosters. Somebody must have donated their teddy bear collection. I don't remember the brand of those teddy bears, but you see one right there to the left because they were everywhere also. This pig had to come home with me. Absolutely, no question about it. Their blue section, so they also split up their thrift store by colors. So there'll be a blue section, a red section, a pink section. Yeah, they split it up by colors a lot of the time. That was just recent, and they are working on even expanding these stores. They own the whole block here. I think now they definitely own the whole block. They just bought out the last building on the block. And so they're constantly expanding the stores and switching the stores around. These little angel holders, I have no idea what they're for, but adorable. This, I have no idea what it is, but it caught my attention. I definitely put it back, but looked interesting. Blankets. I was looking for a quilt. I wanted a quilt. I could crochet, I can knit, but I wanted an actual quilt. I cannot do that. You will see I found one a little later on, and I was so shocked about the price. Pop figures. Somebody did hand in their pop collection because there was more, even though you won't see them in this video. Somebody must have handed in all their pops that they were collecting. Cute little tea set. Of course, I couldn't not look at the toys. Sometimes they have some old ones in here. I didn't see any today, but I also didn't look too hard because there was a kid there who was looking, and I mean, it's the kids section, so let the kid look. But I peeked over things and kept it going. Plenty of rubber ducks. It's so funny now to see these squishmallows everywhere. Because they were huge. Even my kid was into squishmallows and wanted to collect them all. And now if you want to collect them all, you just go to thrift stores. They're everywhere. A whole nother pile of them. They're probably some kid's pride and joy at some point. Yeah, so I'm not against buying blankets from a thrift store. I know some people are like, no, they just get skeeved out. I'm not against it because you can clean them. But the price was too much for me. So this was, well, that's a Winnie Pooh blanket I found adorable. This was the only quilt that I seen there, and the price tag was, dun dun dun, $125. Absolutely not. And because that price tag is white, that means it will never go on sale. Sometimes this thrift store does certain colors go on sale certain days of the week, but the white ones do not go on sale. Only like the purples or blues or oranges. So that blanket will always be $125. Absolutely not. Seen the Eagles throw blanket I thought about picking up. I thought about picking up an Eagles blanket last year and I didn't. But I did pass on it. Only $6, not bad. See, that's a pink tag. At some point during the week, that will go on sale. This heavy dog, green, so many colors. Passed on the dog just because I don't have that breed. I thought it was a great statue. I just don't have that breed. These crosses were amazing. Somebody donated their panda collection. Oh, guys, these little girls with the numbers, I think they had all the way up to 12. Obviously, that was somebody's pride and joy at some point. It's kind of sad seeing some of the things that get put here. I thought that was cool, the snow babies with the Wizard of Oz. There was a bunch of snow babies there. I don't know, clowns. There was somebody's clown collection, which I'm not huge into clowns, but I thought some of them were really cool. Like this one. I thought that this was awesome. This dopey almost came home with me just because it looks so dopey. It looks so cool. Keep looking. See, now it's a green section. All the little things. Here goes more of that clown collection that somebody donated. I also like that yellow one right there, the bigger one. I think everybody else in my house would absolutely, there goes even more clowns. I think everybody in my house would, this leprechaun's adorable too. I think everybody in my house would, it would be hard no to bring one of those clowns home. But even the leprechaun I was debating on bringing home. Somebody's lighthouse collection was up there. Oh, these Norman Rockwell figures, they look like they came from a nativity scene, but there was a lot of Norman Rockwell figures going on. Lion I debated about bringing home. He's so cute. Yeah, so somebody must have collected lighthouses at some point. Whole collection is now at the thrift store. I wonder if that breaks people's hearts that their collection is now at a thrift store. If maybe they just moved on. Maybe they don't like the lighthouse theme anymore. Definitely picked up that clock. It was adorable. Yeah, maybe people just moved on and they're redecorating their house and they don't like these precious moments anymore. Or the lighthouses or the pandas. So they just pass them on. But at some point, I feel like it was probably somebody's pride and joy. And now it's here. Here goes some of them Norman Rockwell figures. And more precious moments. See, I imagine somebody in their house had like a huge glass cabinet with lights and had all those precious moments in there, or all of these Norman Rockwell ones in there. Well, I hope everything finds a good home. I don't know. I'm that type of person. I feel like everything just, I hope it finds a good home. That Yorkie platter right there. Kind of creepy, but it was probably somebody's pride and joy. These bowls, I thought were so cute that I said it out loud and people were staring at me. It's fine. Those cups were pretty unique. I debated on picking this up for fall. I feel like this would look awesome with a flower arrangement in there. I did put it back. I kind of wish I didn't, but I knew to stay on track with what I was doing. So I put it back and I said, we're not looking for fall. Measuring cup. I thought this would be cute as decor. Maybe not to use, but just kind of have as decor. This was awesome. I'm all about my reds and maroons, so that really caught my eye. Believe me, if I had all the money in the world, all the things I would have picked up. But, gotta stay on budget. This I picked up, but then I end up putting back. I'm sorry you can't see it so well, because I'm actually looking at it. But it was a heavy metal tray with a little gold bird and little branches on the side. And this dish thing matched it. It reminds me of Pottery Barn, and maybe it did come from Pottery Barn. But I debated on picking them up because I thought they were adorable, and then I put them back because where would I put them? I had to stay on track with what I was trying to do and not get carried away, which you could totally do at this thrift store. That's where the pictures came in handy that I took of the places that I want to fill before I left the house, so that I could stay on track with what I was doing and not just start buying things that I didn't know where they would go. Plenty of plates. These were adorable. I don't think you can actually use them to drink out of. I think they're more for display. But still cute. Somebody's M&M cup collection was here. This little cat water bottle, which I so wonder where that came from. Pat it and leave it alone. I seen this boxer mug. My family used to breed boxers and shepherds, and so the boxer mug caught my eye, but it didn't look exactly like one of the boxers we had, so I put it back. But if it was a little bit more tan and not brindle, I probably would have bought it for somebody in my family. Cute little Winnie Pooh tea cup. It was chipped, so I left it there. If it wasn't chipped, I might have bought it, but somebody, whole family had these, this scuba stuff. And now it's at the thrift store. I hope somebody buys that and goes scuba with it. Flippers. That's the word I was trying to look for. Somebody's whole family had those little flippers. Here goes more of their eBay stuff. So this is all eBay auction stuff. Sometimes the stuff that's in here, I go, why is that in here? But again, they have people who look up prices and do evaluations of all this stuff, so they know why it's in here. And yeah, like these rocks and crystals and all, are they really worth that much? I guess. Everyone was so nice in there, especially when I almost hit the table full of china over. The aisles are really small in there, so I was leaving my cart like off to the side, then just walking down myself, so I didn't have to drag the cart everywhere. But another lady was shopping next to me. I was trying to move out of her way. It was a thing. Anyway, it was fine. I did pick up 3 things from there, but we're gonna go to another part of the thrift store. So this thrift store expands this whole block. It's huge. It has multiple stores. It's made up of multiple stores. This one was home goods, and then they have like clothes. They have bargain bins, those big bins that you dig through. They have books, and then they have a home section where it's more bigger pieces, but you can find like wall art and all. So we're gonna go check that out, but I'll show you 3 things I got from in there. First one I picked up, this was $3.99, though it might have been on sale. Purple tags, I think, were 50% off or something like that. I spent a little over $20 for these 3 items, which feels like a little bit too much, but it is what it is. This is the first thing I picked up, was this little porcelain clock. I have no idea where it came from. It probably was part of a set at some point. It does have this writing on the bottom, so I'm sure I'll Google that at some point and see where it came from. But this was $3.99. Everybody's starting to come. People are parking next to me now, like, who is she talking to? And that's what the back looks like. And then this one, the cashiers fell in love with. I paid $3.99 for this one also. And it is just a big pig. Like, just a huge pig. It doesn't have any identifying markings on it. I'm not sure. It looks like it's made out of wood, but I'm not sure where it came from. But just a big pig. Couldn't ask for anything better. And then what I actually came here for was I wanted to find a basket. I have this little section in my home where I would really like to see a basket there. Now, I didn't find a basket for that section, but I found a miniature basket for another section, and so I picked it up. And these baskets were expensive. This was almost $13 for this little basket. It did come with this basket insert with it. Some of them didn't come with their insert. You had to pay separate. This one did. It's dusty. There's dust going everywhere. And that's the stamp that's on bottom, which I am familiar with that brand's baskets. As far as I know, they're good. It looks like it says it's from 1991. So I picked up this little basket, and when I get home, I'll show you where everything's gonna go. Like I said, I was hoping to find like a long rectangular basket, maybe like 8-9 inches tall, rectangular, but I didn't find that. All right, let's go inside of their actual home store and see if there's anything in there to pick up. They call this the furniture store. The other one was the home goods. This is the furniture store. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. It clearly said furniture on the front. They had a lot of nice pieces here too. I'm telling you, if I just had the money, there was plenty of things I would have picked up, and the space. There's plenty of things I would have picked up, but I try to stay on budget as much as possible and not overspend on anything. But you'll see, as we walk around, really cute things like this clock. Definitely debated about it. Think it will look great on my fireplace. That lady, I give her props. Oh, my dog might start barking. I give that lady props. She was in high heels putting up art on the wall right there in high heels. I give her props for that. I would have fell. This green thing, I still think about. I still think about to this day going to pick that up. I don't know where it'd go in my home, but for $50, I thought it was awesome. Sorry, I was checking out this basket and I didn't do a good job of showing it. I think these wicker baskets are so cool, and they always have one floating around. Yeah, I'd sign up pick up, but it's pretty cool. Let me know down in the comments if there was anything you would have picked up or anything that you see that you definitely think would have been worth picking up. I don't have an eye for pieces that might cost a lot of money, if you know what I mean. I don't have an eye for that. I used to do the whole reselling thing and all that, but I haven't for over 10 years now, and I feel like I've lost that ability to pick out pieces that might be worth anything. Sorry if you can hear that rumbling in the back. Everybody's getting ready for the weekend, and so there's mowers going and cars and trash, and people are doing things. I still love these old couches, though. Like, I don't know, I don't need a couch, but I love the old couches that they have here. This globe, adorable. So cool. Oh, I like that end table in the back. I didn't see that when I was there. When I'm filming, sometimes I don't pay attention to what's actually on the floor as much. And then I watch the video back and I go, oh, I should have bought that. Should have grabbed that. This is new. They put up these racks to display more of their wall art. That big bridge painting was adorable. This, I don't know what this thing is right here. I wish I knew what it was. It looks cool. Somebody must have donated their car collection, like their car wall art collection, because there's a ton of it everywhere. And it's all really nice. I hope it all finds a really good home. It would be great for a car shop. But there was tons of old car art throughout this whole store. An old Winnie the Pooh lamp. Now, they do have a place in the store where you could test out electronics and stuff to see if they work, but it kind of is by your own risk. Here goes more car wall art. And this one, just beware. A lot of writing desk. I think that's what they're called. The desk where you can like pull down the top and it closes the actual desk piece off right there. They had a few of those. This is the dog from Lady and the Tramp, right? That's the Lady and the Tramp dog. I was trying to think of how I knew that dog. More wall art. Here goes. This was awesome. It won't fit in my house, but I know quite a few people who would fit in their house, and I want to take a picture and send it to them, but things sell quick in the store, and so I didn't want to get anybody excited about something that they might want to come pick up later and it's not there. So I didn't, but there's a few people I know where that would look awesome in their house. Pizza trays for restaurants. This was another piece I debated on picking up just because of the history of it. Tell me that's not awesome. That's so cool. I didn't pick it up, but the history of that right there it's so neat. I love seeing historical stuff. It blows me away. I love it. I was never good with history in school, but now as an adult, I really do like learning about it. Here goes more of that car wall art. That sloth right there was a diamond dots painting that somebody did. Remember when they were a huge thing? More car wall art. I would love to see the house that was in when it was still in there. Beware, wife, dog is friendly. It's the little things you find. Yeah, I would love to have seen whose ever house that was in while it was still in there. It had to be awesome. Plenty of end tables and this rain barrel, which I thought was cool to see. I own one of those. It doesn't look exactly like that, but I do love mine. Helps me water the garden when I did have a garden. Plenty of little rocking chairs and big rocking chairs. I love this chair right here. That would look awesome in a study or a library. I'm still trying to stay out of people's way, so I'm sorry for the bad angles every now and then. Lampshades. All different things. This thrift store is really one of those thrift stores where you have to visit often if you're looking for something because things change so often. And they might have what you need. They might not. That dresser's really cool. This writing desk. I love the dark greens. I just realized that I was attracted to two things that were pretty dark green. So I must like that in my house. I don't know. This rocking chair was still here. The last time I made a video, this rocking chair was in that video too, and I debated on picking it up, and I decided not to because the seat seems a little short to me, but it's still there. Maybe it was a sign that I should have picked it up. I think that recliner could have been free. I do. It looks beyond fixable, in my opinion. It looked very dirty. I don't even think a good cleaning by a professional would clean that recliner. I think they probably should have just passed that on for free. Some leather couches, which look very aged. I think this was a Victrola. I hope I said that right. My mom owns one. It looked like it. That lamp was awesome, but it was $80. I think that's a Victrola. It was $130. I don't know if it has the key for it. I'm going to assume it does, because if other things didn't have the key, it had a little post-it note that said that it was missing the key. So maybe it does. And this is back home. We're putting things where they go. I didn't make an ending to the video, so this is the ending. I put the clock, and I did look up the clock. It's from the 1950s. I could not find more information about the pig. I found 2 others for sale, but no real information. And the basket was from 1991, so there you go. Alright, I hope you liked coming to the thrift store with me today. If you want to see more from the thrift store, just give this video a thumbs up.